In this video, we're talking about two of the rarest and most valuable pennies from the United States, the 1950D and 1953D wheat pennies. These coins are special because they are hard to find and have unique errors that make them worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's dive in and learn their story. Let's start with the 1950D wheat penny. This penny was made in Denver, which is why it has a small D right below the year on the front of the coin. Like other wheat pennies from that time, it is mostly made of copper. On the front side, you can see the face of Abraham Lincoln, who was the 16th President of the United States. On the back, there are two wheat stalks on either side, which is why these pennies are called wheat pennies. The wheat ears design is very simple but also very classic, and it was used on pennies for many years. Now, you might wonder why this 1950D penny is special or rare. The main reason is that not many of these coins were made compared to other years, and even fewer have stayed in good condition over the years. Many pennies get worn down, damaged, or lost over time, so finding one that looks almost new is pretty rare. But what makes the 1950D wheat penny even more interesting are the rare mistakes, or errors, that some of these pennies have. Errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin-making process. For example, sometimes the design on the coin gets doubled by mistake. This is called a double die error. It means parts of the date or letters look like they have a shadow or a second image right next to them. Another type of error is called a weak strike, where the design on the coin doesn't appear clearly because the coin wasn't pressed hard enough during minting. These mistakes make the coin different from regular pennies, and collectors find these differences very exciting. Because of these rare errors, some 1950D wheat pennies are much more valuable than a normal penny. A regular penny from this year might only be worth a few cents if it's worn out, but if you have a 1950D penny with an error, it could be worth around $900. That's a huge jump from 1 cent to almost $1,000. The value of this coin depends a lot on its condition. If the coin is clean, shiny, and doesn't have scratches or damage, it is worth more. Collectors call this condition mint state, which means it looks like it just came from the mint and hasn't been used much. The clearer the details on Lincoln's face and the wheat ears on the back, the better. Also, the type of error can change the value. Some errors are more common, and some are extremely rare. For example, a small double date might be less valuable than a strong double die that clearly shows two images on the coin. That's why it's important for collectors to carefully look at the coin with a magnifying glass or even have experts examine it. The 1950D wheat penny is a great example of how coins can be more than just money. They are small pieces of history that show how coins were made and how mistakes sometimes happen. It's pretty amazing to think that a penny that was made more than 70 years ago can be worth hundreds of times its original value just because of some small differences. If you ever come across a penny with a D mint mark from 1950, it's a good idea to check it closely. You might have something very special without even knowing it. Many people find these pennies in old coin collections, at garage sales, or even in change. In summary, the 1950D wheat penny is special because it's rare and because some of them have unique errors that collectors love. Its value can reach around $900, which shows how valuable old coins with interesting stories and mistakes can be. So next time you look at an old penny, remember, it might be worth a lot more than just 1 cent. Let's talk about the 1953D wheat penny now. Just like the 1950D penny, this one was made in Denver, which is why it has the small D mint mark right under the year. It also features Abraham Lincoln's face on the front and the two wheat stalks on the back. These design details are classic for wheat pennies made in those years. The coin is mostly made of copper, just like the others, and has a simple but beautiful look that collectors really appreciate. What makes the 1953D wheat penny so special is how rare it is. Unlike many other pennies, very few 1953D wheat pennies were made, and even fewer survived in good condition. Many coins from that year were melted down or lost over time, which makes this penny one of the rarest wheat pennies out there. Because of this extreme rarity, finding a 1953D penny in good shape is like finding a hidden treasure. Another reason collectors get excited about the 1953 D penny is because of certain errors found on some of them. Just like with the 1950 D penny, errors happen during the minting process when something goes wrong. For example, some 1953 D pennies show what's called die cracks. These are small cracks in the metal die used to press the coins, and they show up as thin lines or marks on the coin itself. Other errors include doubled dies, where parts of the coin's design appear doubled or blurry. These mistakes make the coin unique and often increase its value a lot. Because the 1953 D wheat penny is both extremely rare and sometimes has these interesting errors, it is highly sought after by collectors. A typical penny from that year, if common, might only be worth a few cents or dollars. But a 1953 D wheat penny in good condition can be worth around $6,500 or even more, depending on how clear the coin's details are and if it has any special errors. Condition is very important when it comes to the value of the 1953 D penny. Coins that are shiny, clean, and have clear details on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks will be worth much more than coins that are scratched, dirty, or worn out. Collectors want coins that look as close to new as possible, even though the coin is over 70 years old. Because the 1953 D wheat penny is so rare, it's a coin that many collectors dream of finding. It's also a reminder of how coins tell stories about the past, not just about money but about the people who made and used them. Each coin is a little piece of history, and some are worth a lot because of their rarity and unique mistakes. If you ever see a penny with a D under the date from 1953, it's worth taking a closer look. You could have something very special that might be worth thousands of dollars. It's always a good idea to have rare coins checked by a professional to see their true value. In short, the 1953 D wheat penny is one of the rarest and most valuable wheat pennies from the United States. Its value can reach about $6,500, making it a prized coin for collectors everywhere.